What you see now is the bustling city of San Diego.
Deemed one of California's greatest cities by many, San Diego is home to people of all races, nationalities, and religions. Today, you will learn of the eviction of the Kumeyaay natives, the conquering Spaniards, and the growth of San Diego from the dirt. Tonight, I will take you through the history of your city from its early stages to its now bustling status. Although the city's history is rich, it was relatively unknown until 1965, the year that archaeologists gathered in Presidio Park. The big discovery was Spanish artifacts, dating over 200 years.
This raised many questions, such as what were the Spanish doing here? Was San Diego in a Spanish rule? And who was here before the Spanish?
These are actual artifacts from the site. They range from pottery that the ladies made. These are what are called core, C-O-R-E, off of which you would make a tool.
Tonight, we'll take you on the journey the archaeologists went on in order to answer these crucial questions. Tonight, we'll take you on a journey through the history of San Diego.
The first people to settle here were the Kumeyaay Indians. Seasonal hunters and gatherers, these natives lived along the San Diego coastline. However, it is not their entire history.
The peoples here weren't particularly warlike, but if you took an oak root and shaped it, you had a really nasty war stick. The Kumeyaay were a calm people. They were not aggressive, as opposed to the Kauai, and the closer you get to the Colorado,
The Kumeyaay did not have peace for long, for when the Spanish arrived, they were forcibly evicted from their lands and put on reservations. Such reservations still exist today, such as the Inasha Cosmic Reservation and the Capitan Grande Indian Reservation.
The Kumeyaay were the first here, but tragically, they were also the first to leave. Any San Diegan can just imagine how terrible it was for these Indians to be evicted from their lands, the lands of their ancestors. Evidently, it was a horrible experience. But again, as the story goes, out with the old and in with the new.
Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo, sailing for Spain, landed in San Diego Bay in 1524, and before long had claimed California for Spain. When Cabrillo landed in 1524, he was looking for a route to South America to shorten trade routes. He eventually landed on San Dieguito. Upon seeing fertile lands, Cabrillo saw San Dieguito as a gold mine for Spain. He traveled along the San Dieguito coast and claimed each part for Spain. Once the King of Spain heard Cabrillo's find, he ordered ships to sail for San Dieguito for the immediate conquest of the country. Once the removal of the Kumeyaay was initiated, San Dieguito, later named San Diego, was in control of the Spanish.
For over 300 years, our aesthetic city of San Diego is under Spanish rule, contributing to the still large population of Hispanics in our city. Some places today recreate life as it was under Spanish rule. Today, we'll take a look at San Diego's first town, the appropriately named Old Town.
1810, New Spain, as now we know it as United Mexican States of Mexico, started their revolution. In 1821, they won their fight of independence. So then this became part of Mexico. From the fort, they came down to the sandy plateau and began developing the town of San Diego.
Old Town is where the city of San Diego began. The first mission, Mission de San Diego de Alcala, and Presidio were nearby. The town developed below as retired soldiers and settlers built homes there. The little town of San Diego began below a Spanish presidio by the mouth of the San Diego River and near the edge of the San Diego Bay. It was around 1810 when the first houses of Old Town were built down the hill from the presidio. As the presidio was gradually abandoned, the community grew and eventually became a town under Mexican government in 1835. After Alonzo Horton started Newtown in the 1860s, San Diego Center was relocated from Old Town to Newtown in 1872.
This is Dr. Hillary, our first doctor. This is Philip.
Philip Crossway. He was our first pioneer here. He built the adobe house. And this is the Kirk and Boyd when they've grown up, and the Larson and the Kent. These are our early family.
Once Old Town was relocated, its historical significance has grown, as well as the desire by many people to see San Diego as it was, when it was still a small town on the edge of the bay. The Spanish did not remain here long, as the Spanish-American War proved to be the beginning of the end of the Spanish reign over California.
One of the most famous battles during the Spanish-American War was the Battle of San Pasqual. This was a battle whose location is commonly misrepresented by the cross on Battle Mountain. The Battle of San Pasqual is a much darker piece of San Diego history as the United States Army faced defeat against the Californios, the Mexican Army. In the San Pasqual Valley, southeast of Escondido, in the darkness of early morning on December 6, 1846, the American Army under Stephen Watts Kearny fought the bloodiest encounter to win California from Mexico. General Kearny and his 120 or so member Army of the West had just arrived from Missouri by the way of New Mexico. Dreary, hungry, wet, and cold, they met and were defeated by a smaller force of Californios led by General Andres Pico, who were waiting there to stop them from joining other American militants.
So they lost this battle and they retreated. They came to Mule Hill, which is on the other side of the lake. They were holding off the forces. They lost this battle too. Kit Carson was there. You can see the picture. He's depicted here. He went into San Diego with one of the officers and brought back reinforcements because they were in dire straits out there.
After this defeat, Kearny's troops continued on the Kearny-Coleman March to a historical campsite known today as Mule Hill.
The death of as many as 35 American soldiers proved to be a shocking remorse for many, while the victory had also provided newfound optimism for Pico's troops.
Today, a California state monument commemorates the battlefield, and hundreds of volunteers reenact the event there on Sunday closest to December 6th. In the year 1850, California was officially admitted to the Union, and not long after that, the Transcontinental Railroad reached San Diego in 1888. Once California was admitted to the Union and San Diego was reached by the Transcontinental Railroad, San Diego began a period of large population growth.
This area was very, very desirable. Because what? One is the coast, right? That means money. That means shipping. That means trading.
People also knew they would easily be able to make a living, for San Diego was a relatively new county and their families would not struggle, as they did in older and more well-developed areas.
For example, in 1889, 5 Sicilian immigrants settled in San Diego to start the West's first winery.
The winery itself was founded in 1889 by 5 Sicilian partners. It's currently owned by the Rizzo family. They bought it in 1922. The great-grandson is the current owner. His name is Rossi Rizzo.